my name is Megan and I currently have 303 books on my physical TBR. It's a lot of books. It's a lot of books. And I'm doing a series at the moment called TBR200 where I'm trying to get my TBR below 200. We've got to get it below 300 first. And this is the next episode of that. And today, I'm going to be reading a book for every letter of the alphabet.
I'm a massive fan of the dictionary.
It's not as scary as it sounds. No, we are not going to be reading 26 books in this video. But what I'm going to do is go back through all the books I've read so far this year. And I'm going to find what letters I have read a book starting with that letter. So have I read a book starting with A? If so, I'll write it down. And I'm going to fill in the gaps in this video so that I have read a book starting with every letter of the alphabet. Or at least as close as we could come. I don't know if I've got a Z on my TBR. But we'll come as close as we can, and hopefully we will get below 300 in this vlog. That is really the aim. I want to get below 300 books.
All right, thank you for that challenge.
So shall we dive into it? Shall we go see how many books we're gonna have to read in order to read a book for every single letter of the alphabet this year? Let's go. Time to see how much of the alphabet I have read already. How many letters of the alphabet have I read so far? And then we will fill in the gaps going through my physical TBR, because this is an episode of TBR 200. I want to get the books off my TBR. I hope I have almost every letter of the alphabet on my TBR, but we shall see. So we are going to go through my reading spreadsheet. Here it is. The first book that comes will be our entry for that letter. I should say I'm not counting A or the as like A and T as the first words of the book, because I think convention, as far as I know, this is how Goodreads does it at least. I think most places like don't count A or the as the first word. So like A Dark Shade of Magic, the first letter of that would be D. So, shall we get into it? Here is our list. Coming in strong, we have Disney High for our D. Next is The Golden Gate, so we'll put that in as our G. I feel like I'm going to have done well at this so far, although that could just be complete hope, and it turns out I've barely read any. What is next? Do I count? I read Murder on Your Express this year. It was a reread, but I feel like that does count, so let's put that in. Next, Hear No Evil. We've got a H, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping that we can tick off some of the more difficult letters soon. Like a Z, a Y, a W, a V, a U. These ones are the ones that scare me. Funny Story will be our F. Dun, 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 dun. Look at this. This is great. Oh! We have got a W! That's so good, because I don't know how many W's I have on my TBR, if I'm honest with you. The Wedding People. That's a tricky one, and we've got it out early doors. That makes me happy. Have we got a B yet? I don't think we do. The Bookshop. You Like It Dark. We've got a Y. Ah! Yes. That's great. A Y and a W done already. That makes me so happy. The Third Gilmore Girl. Maybe I could have done this with just what I'd read in January at this rate. The Anxious Generation, bad book. There's probably, let's just put Amari in The Great Game. I'd rather put that in there. Considering how much I disliked The Anxious Generation, that doesn't get to be there. I'm putting Amari in The Great Game. I've skipped forward a bit, but so be it. S, Somewhere Beyond the Sea we've got. I'm surprised by how much we're filling this up already. Somewhere Beyond the Sea. Okay, One Perfect Couple. I think is our first O. Yes, it is. Okay. I feel like this is definitely not a list of my favourite books. Because quite a few of these were a bit meh. But I don't care if it gets me the letter. Oh my god, we've got a U. Oh my, everyone sit tight. We've got a U.
I can't believe that. I actually can't believe that.
Oh my god, have I read the whole alphabet already? That is such a result. We've got a U. Look at this filling up already. Am I a genius? Just for the Summer, I think, is our first J, right? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. E, The Examiner. Have we got that? We haven't got an E. Ah! That's our first P, The Phoenix Keeper. Look at this.
Look at this. Oh, perfect.
Q. I feel like I'm going to struggle for Q. I feel like Q is going to be a tricky one. L. Is that our first L? The Last Murder at the End of the World? Yes, it is. This is going so well. Well, no, I do actually want to read some books for this video. Imagine if I have to scrap... Imagine if I have to scrap this whole video because I've read the whole alphabet already. That would be pretty crazy. I'm losing track of what we have. We don't have. C-I-K-N. I could have missed something. Okay, I'm going to keep going. The Night and the Moth. That's a K and we don't have that. We have K, everyone. Lift off, we have K. D, we have M, we have H, we have R. Do we have R? Ah! Whoop, 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 whoop. We don't have an R, but now we do. The Retreat. Not in Love. We have an N. We have an N, everyone. We have an N. Amazing. Okay, we're filling this out. We're at the end though. V, The Village of Eight Graves. Is that it? I don't think I've missed anything. A C surprises me. You'd think I would have read a C. I haven't read a C. I haven't read an I haven't read a Q, I haven't read an X, and I haven't read a Z. The X and the Z scare me, but I'm pretty amazed by how many I've read. Okay, we're now gonna go to my Goodreads, my own shelf on Goodreads, and we're gonna sort it alphabetically, and we're gonna see for each of these letters what my options are on my TBR. So, okay, title. Our first letter we're looking for is C. Caraval, A Case of Mice and Murder, The Curious Travels. See, they do count A and though, it's not the first word. The Changing Man, Chosen Beautiful, City in Glass, City of Brass, Cloud Cuckoo Land, Coldest Touch, The Collective. I have a lot of options. This is why I'm surprised I have not read a C. Concrete Rose, A Court of Thorns and Roses, Crime Through Time, Cruel Prince, A Curious Beginning. I fear I might have to read A Curious Beginning. It's been on TBR Cluedo so far this year, and it's a book that like everyone and their mum has told me that I need to read.
It's almost time for Meg to serve.
And it's a book club pick. It's a book club pick for my patron. So I have to read it. And actually I have to read it now. So that's perfect. We will be reading A Curious Beginning. Okay, we now want I. I Was a Teenage Slasher, The Immortals, The Impossible Fortune. Now, I will be reading The Impossible Fortune, but I won't be reading it in this video. I'm saving that for the Goodreads Choice Award. So that's not an option. Imposter Syndrome. Oh! In Defense of Witches and Why Women Are Still on Trial. I think I'm going to read that. I really want to read In Defense of Witches. That is a non-fiction I've wanted to read for so long. For years and years. How long has this been on my TBR? Since 2022. I think it's time I read that. Okay, that's what we're going to read for I. We now need Q, which is quite a jump. Q. We don't have a Q. We don't have a Q on my TBR. Okay, put a pin in that. I don't have a book starting with Q on my TBR. Okay, we're going to have to think about what we do for that. Now we need X and Z. I'm not feeling the most hopeful for that. X, we don't have something starting with X, so we need to find an option for that as well. Z, however, we have one option. We have one book. So I will be reading it, I guess. 0 Days by Ruth Ware. This has been on there since 2023. It's been on the TBR a while. Let's get it off. Let's read a Ruth Ware. Why not? Okay, 0 Days. Now, we need to find something. Okay, I guess I can either read a book starting with these letters, but really this is a TBR200 episode, so I kind of want to find books that are on my TBR. Let's start with Q, I guess. Let's search what's on my TBR for Q. Oh, this is going to be everything, so let's just ignore. Okay, I have Unruly, The Ridiculous History of England's Kings and Queens. I have Jane Austen's Bookshelf, A Rare Book Collector's Quest to Find the Women Writers Who Shaped a Legend. Siren Queen by Nevo. So the other two books, it's in the subtitle. That's at least like the title. Siren Queen. Or Queenie. Queenie is not on my TBR, but I want to read it. This is like shelved as unowned when I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. I don't really add anything to my Goodreads anymore that isn't on my TBR. Okay, so I'm going to have to think for that one. Or maybe I'll ask my patrons. Should I read Queenie? Because that starts with a Q. And that's probably what I want to read most out of what's not on my TBR. Or should I read something like those books that had Q in the title, like Siren Queen or Unruly, it had like Queen in the subtitle. Should I read one of those? A book that's on my TBR, since this is a TBR 200 episode. And in case which one? Maybe Siren Queen, because it's in the title. Okay, and then we need X. I'm just gonna do a quick scan. Oh, this is stuff I've read. Oh my gosh! Let's read the X Hex. Okay, I think if there is a book that comes as close as it can to starting with X that is on my TBR that does not start with an X, it is the X Hex. Because even though, let's not count the first word is X. X.
I've connected the two dots.
You didn't connect shit, but
I've connected them.
It sounds just like it. So we're going to read the X Hex for that. Okay, so we're reading A Curious Beginning, In Defense of Witches, the X Hex, 0 Days, and then I need to decide what to do about Q. But I think that's a pretty good TBR. So let's go dive into it. Let's see what I'm going to start with. But I'm very excited to read every letter of the alphabet, kind of. I mean, we're getting as close as we can with what is on my TBR. Hello. I'm not sure what to say. I don't really want to talk.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
So, this is A Curious Beginning. One of the books in the world that I have been asked / told to read the most. Okay? I'm filming this right by the window as people walking past. Hey! I am halfway through. This is awful. No, it's not awful. The book isn't awful. I don't know what I think of it yet. That's the issue. I haven't made my mind up on anything. Right, so this is basically set in Victorian times, which I love. We're following orphaned Veronica Speedwell, and someone tries to like abduct/kill her. This Baron helps her, and he's like, I'm gonna put you in the care of my friend Stoker while I figure out what's going on. And she goes and stays with Stoker, and then the Baron gets murdered and they have to flee London, and then now they're in the circus. That's basically all you need to know. And yeah, it's like this historical mystery with a romance in it. And I just can't make up my mind on what I think of any singular part. Veronica's a very interesting character. She's very, like, says what she thinks, says her opinion. She's very blunt for a woman of her time. I'm not sure what I think of her tone of voice. I'm not sure what I think of their slow burn, blossoming romance. I'm not sure what I think about the fact that there is really nothing... If I thought about it, maybe I would realise there's no mystery. Like, the Baron is dead and we want to find out who's killed the Baron, but nothing towards it has happened. Oh my god. Did I just say that loud? Like,
You need to leave!
like nothing, none of the mysteries happened. We are 200 pages in. Not a lot has happened. They've ended up in this circus and it's just about them having to perform in the circus to earn their keep. And I'm like, give me the mystery. I'd rather see you going around trying to solve the murder. Isn't that what we're here for? Like, I don't Ooh, yeah. Someone, opposite of Olivia Wilde nod. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I think about it. If the mystery gets stronger in the second half, if I start to get into it more, oh my god, I don't know what to say. Here's the thing, but I'm not like anti anything. I'm not anti Veronica. I'm not anti her and Stoker. I'm not anti the writing. I'm quite enjoying the writing, actually. I think it's well written. I like a historical setting. Like, I do not know what rating I'm going to give this yet. And usually if I'm halfway through a book, I know. Roughly. I mean, I feel like lately I've been like either starting positive and ending negative or starting negative and ending positive. So maybe that will happen. But usually I know within a star rating. Like, I'm like, oh, this will be a 3.5 to a 4 or a 3 to a 4 or whatever. I don't know. I could still give this a 5. I could give it a 2. I think there's anything within that is a possibility right now. I don't know. So I'm going to keep reading it. I'm going to shut up because obviously I have nothing to say. There's a lot of pressure obviously around this because so many people have told me I'm going to love it. I mean, this is there's a lot of pressure. And I fear I might let everyone down, but I also might not. Lovely. I said nothing there. Let's go finish the book, shall we? Hello. I haven't got time to turn my ring light on because I'm about to go out to my in-person book club. But last night I did finish A Curious Beginning, and there's so much pressure. There's so much pressure on this book. I'm giving this 4 stars, which I feel like is, you know, a pretty good result considering I thought it could go any type of way. I think the second half of this book is so much stronger than the first half. A little bit of a spoiler, but not really because it's on the bloody cover. In the first half, they go to this circus and it serves no purpose in the story.
See, when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite.
If you've read this book, the circus section doesn't need to be there. We spoke about this a lot on my book club live show last night, but basically there's like a murder mystery in this. But it doesn't get onto that until the second half. And they go and hide at this circus for seemingly like no reason. It serves nothing. I think it's just to have backstory for Stoker and to develop their relationship. But I think it is so boring and completely ruins the pacing of this book. We were speaking about it on the live show. I would love a whole book. I mean, this is like a 10-book series at this point. We could have had a whole book at the circus with a murder mystery at the circus later on in the series, not as the first book, later on in the series, second or third or fourth book. And you can get the background of Stoker in that one, and you could have such a fun murder mystery set at a circus, but it felt like a waste of the setting and a waste of time in this book. Whereas the second half, we got a lot more into the mystery, although it is fairly like easy how they solve things. You know, we get into the mystery and there is a twist at the end of this book. I didn't know this had a twist. And the twist at the end of this book, pretty iconic. Pretty iconic. It's so silly. It's so ridiculous. It's such a silly twist. But I loved it. I was eating up. It's such, if you've read it, it's such a stupid twist. But I like that it went there. I like that it went ridiculous. I like that it was, yeah, like over the top in its twistness. So it's a 4-star, but it is a 4-star, like, with the promise of future good behaviour. I am hoping that, like, I'm not entirely sure what I think of Veronica yet, like if I love her or don't like her, what I think of Stoker, what I think of them as a romantic pairing. Like, I haven't entirely made my mind up on them yet, but I am going to continue the series, and I'm hoping that by the second or third, like, I've spent more time with these characters. This is a long haul. It's a slow burn, and I kind of could see that she's not trying to do everything that you would expect from a standalone book in this book. This is the beginning of a lot of things, and so I'm willing to give good grace and just to accept that we'll be waiting, you know, for future books for some of what I'm looking for. So, first book done. This is one of the oldest books on my TBR, by the way. I think I've owned this since December 2020. That's crazy. It's been a long time. I don't want to know how, it's like 60 months this has been on my TBR. One of the oldest books on my TBR. One of the books I felt the most pressure around reading. So I'm very sorry it's kind of dark in here, by the way. I didn't have time to set my ring light up before I have to go out. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time with it in the end. I read it super fast. Like, it was a super popcorny read. And I feel like if I start to expect from this what I expect from a Lady Hardcastle, we may be in a good place. So there we are. I don't know which of the books we're going to start next, but I'll see you when I have. I'm actually going to go do some reading for another vlog, and then I'll come back to this, because I had to read this very quickly on a Sunday, and the rest of this vlog isn't going on for 2 weeks. So we've got time. So wish me luck. What do we read next? 0 Days in Defense of Witches, or what's the other one? The X-Hex. Maybe I'm leaning towards that, you know. Maybe I'm leaning towards the X-Hex. I want something spooky. I want witches, I want spookiness. Maybe that one. But we'll see. Okay, love you, bye. Hello. How are we doing? I decided to start the X-Hex next by Erin Sterling. I am 124 pages in. That's how I feel reading this. Just basically, need to know, we're in this small town, which is so, it's like such good vibes. It's like your perfect, like, autumnal, witchy town, Gilmore Girls, Halloween Town, such Halloween Town vibes, crazy Halloween Town vibes. I actually watched Halloween Town, was it last year or before? And I was disappointed, but I feel like maybe it was Halloween Town 2 that I loved. This is a second chance romance, which I don't think I've ever read, really, or at least I haven't read one in a long time. And we're following 2 characters, Viv and Reese, and they, broke up 9 years ago, and she was very upset, and her best friend, or cousin, who is her best friend, who's also a witch, put a curse on him.
Manifesting is one of my talents, so watch out, world.
And they thought they were just being silly, goofy, haha. But then he comes back to town 10 years later, and maybe there was a curse? Maybe? I'm just having so much fun with it. It's the perfect autumnal book. Guys, it takes place, the first, like, part of it, or the part where there was a date, 13th of October. The date today, give you a sec. Excuse me. Can you focus? Look at that. So it's the perfect time to be reading it. I feel like it's perfect transitional beginning of seasonal reading. I'm planning on doing quite a lot of seasonal reading throughout the rest of October and into November, but I feel like this is the perfect thing to start with. A witchy romance book. I'm just having so much fun with all the witchiness, with all the, like, small town. They run like a magic shop. Oh, I just love it. Like a quaint little magic shop in this town. I just want to live there. I want to experience this. It's so fun. Now, obviously, I'm quite near the start. I'm not sure what I think of the romance yet, of their chemistry. And so that remains to be seen. I reckon I might finish this book tonight. I feel like I'm just going to read it and read it and read it. It's just like, I'm just having so much fun. It's just like silly, goofy, fun time. There's a talking cat who all they say is treats, 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 which is literally my cat. Dida, obsessed with treats. It's all she lives for. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. However, we do we have something here. This is not something I've ordered. So this is something someone has very kindly sent to me, but we will be adding something to the TBR. I think we still will get under 300 in this video, right? Let's see. Let me read the note first. I've got 1 minute left on my SD card, so apologies. I'm going to try and speedrun this. From Barbara! Sorry this won't help your TBR200, but it can be our secret. Oh my god, I can't tell anyone then. I can't tell you. Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. Miss Winter in the library with a knife. This is a really exciting murder mystery. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. It's like mixed media. I didn't realise. I think this is a Christmas one. Oh my god, it's a Christmas murder mystery. I love Christmas murder mysteries. Barbara! Thank you so much. This is going to be perfect for the end of the year. And I think it's kind of like like solve it yourself. We have the players of the game. We have the rules of the game. Oh my god, I am so excited. Invitation. There's a podcast. What is going on? I'm overwhelmed. There's a website. Oh my god, I'm going to throw up. Barbara, thank you so much. This is a Christmassy murder mystery that I am so excited for. I'm so excited for. This looks so good. I have been let down by Christmassy murder mysteries in the past, so hopefully I'll have good luck with this one. I'm going to go read more of the X-Hex, and I'll let you know my thoughts when I finished it. But thank you. I'm very excited for this. I've got 0 minutes on my SD card. Hello. I have finished, I forgot to put the dust jacket on. You'll just have to live with that. I finished the X-Hex, that's what it's called, by Aaron Sterling for the letter X. Even though it doesn't begin with X, the X-Hex. I mean, I don't think I could have got a better book. I finished the X-Hex, and I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I had a lot of fun reading this. I had a lovely time, had a great time, real fun time. I really enjoyed it. But do you know what I realised when reading it? I could not give less of a shit about the romance. I couldn't. I actually didn't care about the romantic couple in this.
I can't believe I just said that out loud. Mustard?
I was not engaged. Anytime it was like a romance scene or a sex scene, it's pretty fade to black in that regard, just to, you know, let you know. Yeah, anytime there was one of those scenes, I was like, okay, yeah, can we like get back to the pumpkins, please? I was just reading this for the witchiness, the autumnalness, the pumpkins, the fall fairs, the autumn leaves, the like fucking caramel apple pies. I just loved the experience of that. I loved like reading something so seasonally. It just put me in the perfect vibe.
Apple pies, apple cider, all the things we love. I love fall.
I also loved the witchiness in this. This is a very light level of fantasy, but I loved the fantasy elements, which bodes well for me liking a fantasy this year. I wouldn't class this as like fantasy, it's more of a romance, but I enjoyed the fantastical elements. I think maybe I need to just read more urban fantasy, like our world fantasy versus like fantasy worlds, you know. I think that's where I'm having my issues. But I mean, this is like the epitome of a no thoughts head empty book. That's really not a lot I can say to you. Like, it's just perfect fodder to switch your brain off. And I love that sometimes. I mean, you don't want that all the time. At least I don't. I know some people's reading is like, no thoughts head empty. I'm a reviewer girl. You know, I love reviewing, but I don't have a lot of opinions on this because it kind of just happens. I mean, like, there are critiques. I mean, the fact that I didn't really care about the romance, that's not great. The ending is pretty rushed and like the magic doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a lot of just like convenience in the ending. It's a pretty rushed ending, but I don't care. I had a lovely time in this sleepy town with witches, with autumn leaves, with a Welsh, you know, knight in shining armour. I just had a lovely time. I had a great time. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I wanted to go there and I want to watch Halloween Town 2. I guess I got to give Halloween Town 2 a go to see if it's even slightly good, because Halloween Town was quite disappointing. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series unless like I had to. Like, I would very happily, I think there's 2 more in the series, I'd very happily read another in the series, especially if it was like the atmosphericness of this. But I don't feel the need to continue. You know, it was nice. I enjoyed it. We've ticked it off the TBR. It's been on here since 2021. So it's been on here a long time. Today, guys, TMI possibly, but like today is the day of my period. Like, anyone else who has a period out there, any of you lovely guys and galleys who have a period out there, like, you know, you have the day. You have the day where it is horrific and you are exhausted and you're in pain and it's just everything is bad. You know, like, you might have a few days surrounding the day that's a bit shit, but the day is the day, you know? And today is the day. So I don't really want to do anything. I've basically had reading sprints this morning with my patrons where I read this. I've then come down, been reading. I've lit a candle. Look at this, guys. Ah, it's from Bath and Body Works. Actually, look at how much is burnt. You actually probably can't see. The camera's like, whoa. Pumpkin pecan waffles. Not my favourite scent. Hasn't quite lived up to the name, I feel like. Wouldn't repurchase, but we're burning it for the autumn vibes. So I've got a family dinner. It's my granddad's 80th. dinner tonight. So I've got to leave for that in like 2.5 hours. And I do have a little bit of like desk work to do, but I'm not doing that yet. I'll do that in a little bit. So for now, I'm going to read some more. And I figured I think I'm going to read 0 Days by Ruth Ware because I think this is the least mind energy needed out of all the books left in this vlog. Also, it's the longest one, so I'd quite like to like smash it out. This is just a Ruth Ware thriller and not one I'm particularly bothered about or excited for. When did this one come out? 2022, I want to guess. Oh, 2023. Okay, sure. I read every single Ruth Ware, and this is just not one that I'm super excited for, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I'll let you know my thoughts from halfway through. Don't know if I'll get halfway through before I have to go out, and then I'm gonna wash my hair tonight, so I don't know how much reading I'll get done after. Probably none, if I'm entirely honest with you. But anyways, I'm gonna go read this. I'm gonna go put a autumn ambiance on the TV, but like, don't expect no B-roll out of me other than, yeah. It's bad, it's a bad day, it's the day that is bad. I don't know how like people like do like HIIT workouts on the day of their period. Could not be me. I just had cornflakes in golden syrup as a snack. Less said about that, the better. Okay, I'm gonna go read 0 Days. I'm excited to just sit in a blanket and read. But yeah, I don't know what to expect of this because it really does not sound like my kind of thriller. I've got fairy lights again. No, it took me a whole year. They're not very good ones, but they'll do. They'll do the job for now. I am halfway through 0 Days by Ruth Ware, and I have a lot of thoughts. I started this last week, and I read the first 50 or so pages. Wasn't enjoying it. Didn't really want to pick it back up again. Did not read it over the weekend. It is now Monday. I have now gotten to halfway, and now I'm enjoying it. Very much so. So the plot of this is we open up with Jack and her husband Gabe. They do this thing where like they break into companies to see how easy it is to break into companies for them. And they get paid to do that. And she's on a mission. She gets arrested because like the company hasn't told the police they're doing this. She's at the police station for a while, goes home, finds her husband brutally murdered. And she quickly becomes the prime suspect because of the timeline. She doesn't call the police for like maybe like an hour or 30 minutes after she finds him because she goes into like a state of shock. So it's not in the synopsis, but I think it's going to be a big part of the book and how I talk about the book. So I'm just going to tell you, she goes on the run. She goes on the run. She like yeets it out of a police interview. She says, I'm out of here. And she's like, I'm going to solve this for myself. Who killed my husband? Now, I did not go into this with the highest of expectations. I'm not going to lie to you. It is not my kind of book. This kind of like techie thriller, like it's, even though, you know, they work in tech, they work in hacking, and then there's going to be a lot to do with like phones and laptops and VPNs and like all this stuff.
I unlocked 2 more files. Your software slays, by the way.
That's not usually my kind of thing, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying this on the run. I think that's why I had to tell you about that, because like that's really what's pulling me forward. Like she has to run, she has to escape, she has to not let them be on her case, and I'm really enjoying it. Ruth Ware, at the end of the day, I think she is a great writer. She has veered away from the synopses that I want from her. Like, I prefer older Ruth Ware to modern Ruth Ware. I much prefer her, like, mysteries. And she's gone much more into the thriller realm. So that isn't my favourite. This isn't my kind of book. But there's something about it that I'm finding very compelling. And I think a lot of it comes down to her writing. Like, she's just a good writer at the end of the day. Is it a 5-star? No, but it's compelling. I think it's a situation that's easy for a lot of readers to put themselves in. Like, coming home and finding your husband and significant other murdered, and there's like a conspiracy against you. Be like, what the fuck would I do? I don't think I'd do anything. I think I'd just like, fine, the world is conspiring against me. Actually, we'll speak about how the world is conspiring against me in a lesser way in a second. I do have a suspect.
So I decided to go and investigate it.
And I will be annoyed if it's that person, because it seems too easy. But there was just like a scene between her and this other character, and I was like, that seems to me like, you know, playing the innocent, but to be the evil villain behind it all. So if it's them, that I will be annoyed, and I will tell you if I am correct. I'm just putting a pin in that. Now, quickly, I just want to mention, YouTube hates me.
It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in.
Like my last 3-4 uploads, suddenly half the views I usually get. What is going on? And I post about it on my Instagram stories and I can't tell you copious amounts of responses. People being like their algorithm is weird. I think my algorithm is a bit weird right now. Like recommended weird videos. Everyone's algorithm is weird. And people thought I was taking a break. They thought I wasn't posting. They thought Megan's taking a month off because I haven't seen her in a month. So, more than ever, guys, I need your, like, just support to help the YouTube algorithm like me again, please. Any likes, any comments. And the big thing that might help, let's give it a go, let's try it, let's see, is there's this new feature called Hype, where, like, you have a certain amount of, like, points to hype a creator up, and it like lets YouTube know that, like, I think there's like a hype chart. I don't really understand how it works, but I've seen someone who got like on the hype leaderboard, like, and there's like a top 50 most hype videos, and maybe that'll help. Who knows? If you guys can spare some of your hype points for a small lowly Megan, I would very much appreciate it. Please, please, please. To get YouTube to like me again, because I don't know what happened. It's suddenly YouTube just hates me. 2 of the videos were not videos I was expecting to get loads of views, but a book haul always does well. My worst viewed video, like, ever. Like, ever. I've never known a book haul to perform like that in my 6 years of doing YouTube. So yeah, if you can please hype the video or comment or like it or share it somewhere, I would be so appreciative, because this happening just as I'm about to move out and I'm gonna need a lot of money. I got a mortgage to pay, I got furniture to buy, is scary considering this is my job. So YouTube suddenly hating me, and this has never really happened to me like this, I don't think. Like sometimes one video doesn't do well, but to this extent, this many, it is scary. So please hype it. I'll show you how to do it somewhere on screen, or I will already have done so. But yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on there? Anyways, let's go read 0 Days. I'm gonna hope to finish it tonight, so I will see you tomorrow morning with my thoughts. But I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. It's just like a nice, enjoyable, thrillery read, and it's, you know, it's dark, it's rainy outside. I feel like it's kind of dark, gritty thriller is the right kind of vibes. So yeah, cats go meow. Cats really go meow. So here's the thing with 0 Days by Ruth Ware. I had a lot of fun when reading this book. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my time with it. I enjoyed the reading process, especially, you know, after the first like 50 or 60 pages. I enjoyed the cat and mouse, the you know, danger we're in, the stakes that we have. However, did I see every single twist in this book coming from a mile away? 10 miles away, in fact. Yes, I did. Yes, I definitely did. So I feel like that puts me in a difficult position rating wise. Like, the person who I said I'm suspicious of, oh, it was them. Oh, yeah, guess what? It was them. Yeah.
I always knew there was some type of scandal. I felt it.
So obviously them. Like, there was no other suspect. There was no one else to distrust. And there was, like, I'd say probably the only other twist in this I saw as soon as that element was introduced. So it feels fairly, I don't know, predictable, cookie cutter. I think I'm gonna end up giving it a 3.5, the dreaded, cursed, evil 3.5, as it's known in the business, as it's known on my channel. Yeah, I probably enjoyed it to a 4-star amount, but I just feel like I have to dock it down half a star based on how nothing surprised me, nothing shocked me. It was just Ruth Ware's writing I enjoyed, right? And here's the thing, for lack of sounding like a broken record, because I go on about this all the time, I do think Ruth Ware's books in the past, maybe like 4 years, have been getting a bit stale, and she should really take some time. Well, this is like a tale of two halves. She should take some time, like a year off, to spend 2 years on a book to really like pour a lot into it and come up with some really like innovative new ideas, or at least something like One by One or The Turn of the Key, where like it's playing on a certain vibe, but it does it so well. It's so rooted in the vibe that it's trying to portray. And so I say that. I say, like, I think she's publishing 2 new books a year. There's certain thriller authors who are doing that, who I feel like it's getting a bit stale. However, the publishing industry, to have a career as an author, Ruth Ware probably needs to publish a book a year. Most authors, a lot of like career authors out there, have to publish a book a year. I mean, it's so, you can be a published author, have 5-10 books published, and you still don't earn enough from it to do it as your job, let alone like you earn enough to do it as a job, but you still have to publish a book a year. So like, I feel like a hypocrite, because I recognize probably she has to do that in order to do it as a career, but it just, again, yeah, it feels cookie cutter. It's enjoyable. She can write. Ruth Ware is an incredible author. Why I've given her so many 5 stars before. I think she's a great thriller author. And I think the characters in this are compelling. You know, Jack is a very compelling character. We spend so much time with her and you're like so deeply rooting for her. She's like getting more injured and like the stakes are raising as time goes on. And you just want nothing more than for Jack to succeed. And like you care, which is more than can be said for a lot of modern day mystery thrillers. But just the synopsis, the plot, there's not enough there for me. So if this is a book that's like already on your TBR, read it. What a crazy idea, guys. Read a book that's on your TBR. Like, I'm saying, if you own this book, I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll pick it up. I think you'll have a great time with it. I think it'll, you know, be great entertainment for a couple of days. Do I think it'll stick with you? No. And do I think if you don't own this book already, you should go out and buy it? No. Maybe pick it up from your library. Pick up the ebook on Libby or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe go to that extent to read it, but I wouldn't spend money on it at this point. It's been out 2 years. I feel like if you're interested in it, you probably already bought it. Unless you're being like a Ruth Ware completionist, like I wish I was. You know, it was fine. I enjoyed it, but I feel like it has to be a 3.5. We have 2 books left. I realised I didn't tell you, my patrons told me to read Siren Queen. They said, read a book that's on your TBR and Queen is the second letter. We're going to go with that as like our best option. So these are our 2 books left, but I think I'm going to get into our non-fiction next, which has been a non-fiction I have been desperate to read. This, Butts, and The Once and Future Sex are like 3 of the non-fiction that stick in my brain as I wish I could read that right this second. So I'm going to start this and I'm just really looking forward to doing so. I can't wait to read non-fiction about this topic. I think it's fascinating. So I'll let you know my thoughts when I'm a little bit of the ways through. But yeah, can't wait. Peekaboo! Hello friends, I just got my hair cut. Hee hee. Doesn't look any different. It's basically exactly the same. Actually, no, this is the shortest I've ever gone with like face framing layers. She's never gone this short. Oh! Don't look.
This one right here, we're gonna have to work on her. Bring you on up to the 21st century.
Like what?
This hair.
I have just read the introduction and first chapter of In Defense of Witches, so I'm about at the 90-page mark, and I thought I'd just check in quickly. This is basically what it says on the tin. Why women are still on trial. The archetype of the witch, why that was created at the time, why that was used as a way to control women, all the kind of context around that, but also then how it has continued and how women are still subject to all these roles and these expectations and these confinements to who they can be, and I'm really enjoying it. I don't know if it feels like a 5-star. The only reason it doesn't feel like a 5-star is the writing style. I'm not like, I feel like with me, 4-star and 5-star non-fictions always just boil down to how much the writing style allows me to digest the information. And I'm not like, it's not a direct feed from this to my brain. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like sucking it up like through a tube to my brain. I don't know. That's what a 5-star non-fiction is for me. This one I am still very much enjoying. It is depressing. If you think about like one of the first kinds of women they took as witches were the women who helped other women give birth or prevent pregnancies or end pregnancies at the time, and like all of that, like the idea of like these women who would deal in the feminine realm being witches, and like the control that had on women's childbirth and safety in childbirth, etc. And like you look at the United States of America and the outlawing of abortion, they fucking hate women. They hate women. The Republicans hate women. They outlaw abortion and then they say, oh, the only painkiller that's safe to take during pregnancy, that's viewed as being safe to take during pregnancy, oh yeah, you shouldn't take that because we believe it's giving children autism. When there's no data for that. They just want to control. They want control over women. And it's just scary how, like, spot on this is, how prophetic it is, because this was actually written in 2018, translated into English I believe in maybe like 2022. Yeah, so it's old now. This book is 8 years old, but it still feels relevant. It doesn't feel outdated. Some non-fiction that is very topical like this, and particularly like in the feminist realm, I feel like it can get outdated pretty quickly. Like what book was it that I was watching someone review once? I can't remember. Maybe it was, Why Men Who Hate Women or something, and how the book couldn't grasp where the world was about to go and how men were gonna hate women, like incel culture that all kind of like begun or grew after that book, and how it kind of became a little bit outdated. This still feels very spot on. I'm very much enjoying it. I think it's very interesting. This is, you know, the archetype, the image of a witch is something that we as women can like reclaim. Like, I feel like a lot of us love witches and I think there's a beauty in reclaiming it, but also recognizing the terrible roots it had, and like the murders upon murders upon murders of women that this archetype, this image was utilized to perform, you know? And she's talking about how there's not many other types of murders that we kind of joke about, or not joke, like glorify. Like, if you go to the place where the Salem witch trials happen, you might be like, ooh, spooky, you know what I mean? Rather than bearing witness to the horror. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna keep on reading it. I'll see you either tonight or tomorrow morning with my thoughts. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It doesn't feel like a 5. We've had a lot of 4s in this vlog so far. But yeah, I'll let you know my thoughts when I'm done. I fear I need to wake myself up a bit to talk about my last opinions about this book, because I was falling asleep a little bit in the reading. Freddie just did a huge sigh down there, if you could hear that. Anyways, yeah, this is gonna end up being a 3-star for me. And I know I spoke about it quite favorably at the start. I read about 90 pages at that point, and it's about 250. What I liked about this was the introduction and like the opening chapter, because guess what? We talk about witches. We talk about witches in the introduction. The rest of the book, no. It's just a discussion on kind of modern feminism. Really what this book does is, in the introduction it says, here's the archetype of the witch that was created, and women are still being like stereotyped and judged for many of the things that witches were. But then we just go in and discuss those things without discussing really the historical parallels, which is what I was personally looking for in this. There was like a few sections where we would speak about the historical parallels, like it talking about how actually the women viewed as witches at the time, you know, who were helping women give birth, were some of the like top scientists of the period, and really they were persecuted because men were threatened by their knowledge, and like you're not allowed to have that knowledge. That was a really interesting moment. That was one paragraph in a sea of a chapter. And I think this is valuable, but I don't think a lot of it is anything I didn't know, you know? Like a lot of it is just kind of like modern feminist stuff that if you've read a lot of feminist literature, if you consumed a lot of feminist thought, you will probably know. And so I just feel like the title and the cover is selling a lie a little bit.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
I think this could have been such more of an interesting book if the whole book, we had those modern, I liked hearing the modern examples with the historical parallel. That was fascinating, drawing those dots together. But really, it was just about how today women are judged, persecuted, belittled if they stray away from what society expects of them. So like women who choose not to have children, women who age. So I just wanted some witches. Yeah, I just wanted a discussion of witches. And it is quite dry writing. It's quite dry writing. And for me, my favourite nonfiction, particularly feminist nonfiction, is kind of more essay-based. Like, I still think Bad Feminist by Roxane Gay, I know it's an older example that like everyone loves, but it's an example everyone loves for good reason. It's so personal, but also a reflection of society. I think it's just so well done. This is just kind of like, this thing happened, and it's more of like an academic essay text kind of thing. So I wanted witches. I wanted that. I wanted the discussion that the introduction has, you know? And I also, probably my favourite part of the book is the foreword that is written by Carmen Maria Machado, because that writing was incredible. I just really need to read, what have I not read? In the Dream House. I haven't read In the Dream House from Carmen Maria Machado. But yeah, disappointing, because this has been a non-fiction that has like been on my TBR for so long and been one I've been so excited for so long. So there we go. I'm now going to pick up our final book of the vlog, Siren Queen by Nevo. I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited. I may check in with you. I may read the whole thing. Who knows? Who knows? Let's live life on the edge a little bit. I love Nevo's writing, but I've only read novellas from her. And so I'm super excited to see what I think of Nevo's writing in a novel format. Hello friends, I went ahead and finished the whole of Siren Queen because this is the kind of book that I think you need to read the whole of it to figure out what you think of it. I think I left a dust jacket around Tom's, I can't find it. But anyways, that's not important. What is important is that I loved this. I think I'm between a 4 and a 4.5. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I loved this. This is such a unique, special, interesting book. All I want to tell you is we are following a young girl who at the beginning of the book we're not given a name for because names are very important in this world and this kind of world building. And we meet her and she is like, I'm gonna become a Hollywood star. It's set in old Hollywood and it's really the story of her endeavouring to become a star, becoming a star, and the rise and fall of her career. I can see people on Goodreads who give this 5 stars and I can see people who DNF it, and I can completely understand both. It's so, like, it feels like lightning in a bottle, this book. The fantasy side of this, because it's like historical fantasy, the fantasy side, the world building, isn't explained. It just happens. Things you're not, like, you don't understand half the time what's going on. It has this dreamlike quality where like scenes kind of spawn or characters kind of appear. It feels like everything's kind of moving through a fog, everything's kind of flowing in and out of each other's scenes, and people are talking about stuff that makes no sense but at the same time it makes sense. I think if you love Nevo's writing you will love this. I'm not sure if I'd recommend starting here. I'd probably recommend starting with The Empress of Salt and Fortune, the novellas, but I don't think words can describe, I don't think I can put into words how unique a book this is. The way it's told, you don't understand what's happening, and the characters are chatting about something, you don't understand what's happening, and like there's all this world building and there's rules to the world to do with like the powers that Hollywood studios have and what they can do to their talent. And Dida's very interested. Oh, she's scratching the wall. It's a very interesting writing style. It feels like, in that same vein, sometimes sentences will be missed out. Like you can read a paragraph and out of like the 4 sentences you have, it feels like there were 2 in the middle there that got cut out. You feel constantly unmoored, you feel constantly like unsure, but at the same time it says so much about like the time period, this old Hollywood setting, and like particularly as an Asian girl, as an Asian woman, the stereotypes that she's put under and the different rules for her that she has to navigate, and it's just so good. It's such a good book. I don't think a ton of people will enjoy this. I think this will be a divisive book. I can understand why people would enjoy it. It's written in a very detached style, but I just think I kind of felt like in a trance when reading it, and I feel like I'm out of the trance and I'm like, what is life? What is this world? What is going on? But with that book, do you know how many books that brings us to on the TBR? 299 books. Woo, woo, woo. Dida, let's celebrate. Gotta celebrate. Dida celebration. Dida celebration. Woo, woo, whoop, 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 whoop. 299. 299. Oh my god. 299. 299 books on the TBR. Above 300 will never be seen again. It'll never be seen again. I'm very happy with that progress and that we've hit that number. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video where I read a book for every letter of the alphabet. This was a super fun way to pick books off my TBR, so I would encourage you guys to do the same. I feel like I got to some really old books on my TBR that have been on there a long time, which is good, because another episode of TBR200 so far, I have just read like new books I'm excited for. So I got some more niche books off of the TBR in this vlog. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you've read any of these, what your opinions on them are, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye!